I've been to all 14 countries in Oceania.
Nice to meet you.
And right now, I'm gonna rank them all based on vibes, cultures, food, nature, affordability, and how badly I wanna go back. Some countries shocked me, and one totally disappointed me. Just nothing happening, which you'll find out about later. Let's start with my #1 favorite country in Oceania and where I am right now, New Zealand. All right, Mom, here we go.
I can't wait, I'm so excited.
Yes. All right, Mom, how's it going?
If I can control it, I'll feel good.
As I cruise down this mountain in Queenstown on my little luge. This country is amazing. This is my second time here. I've spent about 2.5 weeks in the country. I'm currently road tripping New Zealand with my parents, which is an absolute blast.
I'm in my happy place right now. This is beautiful.
That is a spectacular rock, a bit of history, unbelievable.
There's 2 islands in New Zealand. We have the South Island, which is where we are now, and then there's the North Island. And they are some of the most beautiful nature places I've ever seen. Just made it to a lovely town called Wanaka, and as far as most beautiful places in the world go, I think this one might just take the cake. Absolutely insane views here. Amazing people. You have Maori culture, which are the indigenous to the island. It's just a place that's really clean, safe, almost like an Iceland or Norway or Switzerland, but I think New Zealand is way, way better than the 3. I know that's a controversial opinion, but that's just the truth. If you could visit one country in Oceania, let it be New Zealand. You would absolutely not regret it. It's just so, so fun. Queenstown is amazing. Look at this place. I mean, have you ever seen a more beautiful nature in your life? Feels like the Philippines. On the South Island down here, you can go to a fjord national park called Milford Sound, where you have these amazing, like, steep mountains that go up to 4,000 feet that collide with the crystal clear water, which actually opens up to the Pacific Ocean. Look in front of you.
Oh, but look how pretty. Wow.
It is stunning out here. Look at this. It's so cool to be right here in the action. Freezing cold. I got water hitting me in the face, but it's really one of the most beautiful sights in the entire planet. There's dolphins there. There's really cool bird species here, kiwis. I love the way they speak. Yes, New Zealand is quite expensive, but it's just what it is if you come here. Mom is doing a great job. She's very scared of heights. Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Go, Mom. Go, Mom. Go, Mom. Go!
Ah, woo!
How was that?
That was fun.
If you go to the North Island, you have Auckland, or as the locals call it, Auckland, the capital city. And then you could drive north to the Bay of Islands. It looks like the Philippines up there. It's so, so incredible. We just came from there. Then you can go to Hobbiton, which is where the Lord of the Rings was filmed, and they preserve it as a really nice movie set or just a cool touristy place to go. In Rotorua, I think I pronounced the name of the city wrong, but the really cool city in the North Island where it's like the center of the Maori culture. You can visit markets, you can talk to them, you can learn about their way of life. And if you know me and you watch my videos, I love local indigenous cultures, and that's why it's so cool up here, because you can find so much of it. New Zealand is just awesome. The outdoor sports capital of the world, especially where we are here in Queenstown, right on this beautiful lake. I went bungee jumping here on my last time. Now we're cruising down in these little race car things, and we have perfect weather right now. You can't go wrong with New Zealand. Get in a little camper van, road trip the islands, north or south. You'll have the best time ever. I could go on and on and on about New Zealand, but we should probably save some space and probably go to my second favorite country in Oceania, which is Papua New Guinea. Welcome to Papua New Guinea! The home of culture, period. There's over 800 different spoken languages on an island that's not that big, no matter how you slice it.
Hello, di ke koyari.
Nabi lemsen paronim kanda.
Na gaksimbuta muka. Mi uksi. Ai nagene pagembo na.
People there are lovely. It's such a gem of a place to travel for adventure. It's pretty rugged. I like to compare it to West Africa in terms of like infrastructure and just having a total wild experience. All right, picking up more in Papua New Guinea as soon as I get off of this thing. How was it?
Great.
You want to go faster next time?
I'll do it again.
Oh,
Mama.
All right, so as I was saying, Papua New Guinea. They have this festival every August called Mount Hagen Festival, where all these tribes get together and they put on this cultural performance and dance. I have not been to Mount Hagen. It is on the list, but I know it exists, and I know that it's one of the only places in the world that you can see this much cultural diversity. They chew a lot of betel nut, which is this little like nut you get from a plant, and it's a stimulant. Kind of makes you feel high. They do it instead of coffee, and it's highly addictive. They have like the highest rates of mouth cancer in the world. I was wrong, man. Not a reason to love the island, it's just something that I'm explaining. Port Moresby, the capital, is not my favorite place. It's a bit dangerous. In fact, I remember when I was there, my driver said the cars, you know, to keep ourselves safe, we have blacked out at the top and blacked out at the bottom, so nobody can see inside, and all the windows are blacked out. I mean, that's just how it was when I was there. So sketchy city, but the country's beautiful. What I did was I road tripped a lot of that southern coast and found a lot of like cool little areas of people, little bars, people playing darts, just hanging out, playing rugby. It was really popular there, and other sports as well. This is a really cool life down there. Really rugged island. And I say island because Papua Island it's partly Indonesia and partly Papua New Guinea. But I even went into the Indonesian side, which is still Papua Island.
Makasih.
It's really similar culturally. I visited this cannibal tribe, which was really cool. And just the whole experience of being out there and learning how they live. Oh, he got it already? It's in a matter of 15 minutes. They've caught 2 massive shrimp and 2 fish. If you like culture and off the beaten path experiences, look no further than Papua New Guinea. There's a nonstop flight from Manila. Check it out. You'll thank me later. Country number 3 in Oceania is Australia. The big country of Australia, the huge country. It's almost the size of the US. I've been 4 times, but I've only been to Melbourne, road tripped around the area, Sydney, road tripped around the area to the Blue Mountains and stuff, and then Brisbane, and that's it. Those places are awesome. I mean, Melbourne is this huge, big, busy capital city with city business district with tall buildings. Went for the Australian Open, which is by far the best of the 4 tennis majors that I've been to. I've been really into tennis lately as a side note, so if you like tennis, follow my Instagram at Binsky Tennis. I'm posting really cool tennis adventures around the world as I've become addicted to training and playing the sport. There's so many coffee shops in Melbourne. The coffee shop culture is insane. Like literally they're like, they'll line up around the block for like an hour wait. They eat meat pies, they eat kangaroo burgers. Not everyone eats that all the time, but those are famous foods in Australia. Got to see kangaroos and hold koalas because that's something that you should do in Australia because those animals only exist in Australia, along with a lot of other like venomous snakes and all these other things.
Oh, look how cute. Let's go feed them.
It really is cool, the wildlife. Sydney is a beautiful city. I mean, it's right on the water, the Opera House, just walking around the bridge. Try to hike up the bridge if you can. It's an amazing experience. Just walking around the different neighborhoods, going to the bars, the restaurants. Obviously, the Opera House is stunning. It's that beautiful of a building. You have to go stand there and just admire it. Haven't been inside, but been outside a few times. We made it to the Sydney Opera House.
It's pretty cool venue. You've got the bridge and the water and the
It's
downtown.
different than Melbourne, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's prettier than Melbourne.
Yeah. What I love about Sydney is there's beaches like in the city. So Bondi Beach is the famous beach. We were just there. I mean, doing this little nature hike, like an hour out to another beach down south. It's freaking beautiful here. It's so cool that it's in the city. Not to mention the beaches are beautiful. They blow California beaches out the water. I mean, it's like surfing and white sand and beautiful ocean. I mean, it's so, so good. We also went to a beach an hour south of Melbourne called Mount Martha, which was insane. Like the beaches are just insane. Everywhere in the Pacific, you find great beaches. So that's something to definitely consider if you come to Australia. And they really do just enjoy life. As they say, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
I love the people in Australia, are super nice. Nice to meet you. Good to meet you, bro. My parents and I were there on Australia Day, which is like their July 4th, so we got the full experience. F-35s flying above us and national anthem and people holding the flag and people dressed up as kangaroos and food and fun. There's only less than 30 million people in Australia, but there's so much fun there. Great golf. And yeah, I have yet to do the Outback, but I know it's amazing. I know there's Uluru Rock, there's a bunch of deserts. I want to get a camper van and just drive across Australia for a few weeks. And I really want to go to Perth, the most isolated city on the planet on the western coast. The only issue about Australia and really everywhere else in Oceania is it's just so far from everywhere. It takes long planes to get to other countries, but that's just how it is. Australia is amazing. I haven't been to the Great Barrier Reef yet. It's high on the list to visit my next trip, and Tasmania, the little island south of Melbourne. Everything about Australia is great, and it's been hard for me to like choose what's like New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea. They're all different and they're all great. And if you have a few weeks, try to visit all 3. All right, now as I head back up this giant hill, I'm gonna tell you about country number 4 in Oceania, which is Fiji. Bula! That means hello in Fijian. Everyone says it as soon as you enter. Bula! Bula! First thing I think of when I think about Fiji is smiling people. They're so friendly, kind, welcoming, caring, hospitable. They'll take you around. I've been to Fiji many times because when you travel around the Pacific, it's really kind of the big hub airport to get from point A to point B. Whether it's Nadi or Suva, the 2 main cities of Fiji, you can hang out in either. And they're great. So the country is really built for tourism more than any other of the smaller islands in the Pacific, I would say. So there's the main island of Fiji, but there's also 330 other islands. And my favorite island chain is called the Yasawas Islands. I went scuba diving with sharks there at night. It was just a little beam of light we had on our heads, me and Deanna. That was a cool experience. Lovely resorts there, lovely food. They're really accommodating to tourists because they get so many of them. So I'm staying at this place right on the beach. It's amazing. Not many people around. Something you gotta be careful of is falling coconuts from the trees. It's just so awesome. You can find rugged and raw experiences out there in Fiji, or you could find like full all-inclusive resorts, but however you slice it, it's great food, great fun, great golf. Vijay Singh, one of the best golfers ever, is from Fiji, which is really cool. And for being such a large country in terms of population, you don't really find sketchy areas. Like I walked around the two cities, Nadi and Suva, even at night alone, go to markets in the daytime, lots of amazing fruit. It's super fresh pineapple. All encompassing, like a lovely place. I always recommend people to visit Fiji. Something you should try in Fiji and other islands is kava, which is like a ceremonial drink. It's like made from tree branches and they squeeze it with sap and whatever else is in there and it kind of numbs your lips and it's almost like a drug. It kind of makes you feel drunk a little bit, but you can do that in Fiji and it's a pretty cool experience. There goes nothing. It definitely numbs your tongue, like my lips are a little bit numb. I'm gonna try not to be too repetitive as we continue this video and I tell you more about the islands in the Pacific because a lot of them have nice beaches, a lot of them have similar things. So with Fiji, we'll just stick with the just amazing people and hospitable culture. Word on the street is they used to have cannibals living there. I didn't meet any, but I actually would love to meet some. So if you know any cannibals still in Fiji, I mean, nothing to me is more fascinating than a human eating another human, but yeah, that's for another story. For local food, they have this dish called kokoda, which is kind of like a Fijian ceviche, just really delicious. Oh, there's a tree house right there. That's cool. Anyways, point being, you cannot go wrong with Fiji. I'm planning another trip there soon. There's a nonstop from LA on Fiji Airlines, and I'm gonna take you guys on a little journey before we head to country number 5. Come with me. Ah! And the New Zealand road trip begins. Look at this car. It's a taxi? Look.
Yeah, I told you it's a tuk-tuk.
Whoa. Dad, what's going on over here?
It's a bra fest.
Welcome to Padrana.
Oh man. There's no such thing as a bad view in New Zealand. Holy moly, we're driving on this road. That is pretty freaking cool. I'm gonna continue ranking these countries in Oceania as I'm road tripping the beautiful country of New Zealand so you can see the different landscapes. Let's hop in with country number 5, Vanuatu. It's an archipelago of many islands. The capital and the biggest island is called Port Vila, which is actually a place not to be missed. I stayed there for a week with my wife, Deanna, way before I was making YouTube videos. Hanging out in Vanuatu. It's absolutely beautiful here. I kind of never want to leave. Really loved it. Went scuba diving there. There's shipwreck dives. There's a lot of World War II history, museums. There were great battles that were fought in Vanuatu. There are many traditional villages that you can just kind of roll up, kind of like a place like this. You just go outside of the road. And we did that and we went in and talked to people and it was just so heartwarming just to meet the people of Vanuatu. There's not a lot of people out there, but they really love their country. They're very patriotic. And they're very humble. The coolest experience in Vanuatu, which I have not done, but I know it's cool because all my friends have done it who have been there, is a little island called Tana where there is a volcano. It's one of the most accessible, active volcano experiences you can have in the whole world. You can climb up to the top. Yes, it does erupt every so often, but it's apparently really beautiful. I've seen the pictures and that is actually really high on my list to go back to Vanuatu to do this experience and to also make some stories with indigenous cultures. If you have any connections in there, please let me know by responding to this video. There's a place in Vanuatu called Champagne Beach with this really bright sand and clear water, almost like something you'd see out of a movie. If you go to Vanuatu, start in Port Vila, walk around the markets, check out the vibes, and then try to go up to Tana or even just take a boat to other islands. I just really loved the spirit of Vanuatu, the culture there. Oh, and there's also apparently a blue hole, which is funny when you say blue hole, like Belize has a blue hole, several other countries have blue holes, but apparently this one in Vanuatu is worth checking out, so definitely not to be missed. All right, country number 6, Palau. I have a really strong love and affection for Palau because it was my second to last country on my journey to visit every country in the world. I spent like 12 days in Palau. I met the president of Palau, really nice guy, President Sarango. Pleasure to meet you.
Privilege for Palau to have you visit us.
Stayed with a lovely family there, and I could say I confidently explored a large majority of this country. There's only something like 18,000 people in Palau, which is crazy. That fills up like half of a football stadium or something, but it's just cool.
Nice to meet you.
It's a 2.5 hour flight from Manila. You get there. Actually, when you arrive in Palau, you have to sign a pledge on your passport. It's the only country in the world where they like protect the ocean and protect the nature and environment, which is really special, I think. They really care about protecting their country because it's so beautiful. You actually sign the declaration, and then there's a lot of rules there and regulations, like they're banning plastic and stuff, which is great to protect the environment.
It's important for us to take care of our environment because it provides our food, but also in this modern world, it's what brings tourists here too.
Right.
So we have to take care of it, and we ask our visitors to come and share the same values.
Right. But the one thing that stands out about Palau over the whole world is the nature. The snorkeling and scuba diving is out of this world. I went in this jellyfish lake with like millions, literally millions of non-stinging white jellyfish, and you can just swim in it.
Holy crap, so cool. Literally surrounded by thousands of jellyfish. Can't believe I finally made it here.
The scuba diving is the best scuba diving in the world. If you're a diver out there, if you're thinking about diving, Palau is the best, no question. The main town of Koror is cool to see. They have like a White House that's replicated off the US White House. It's an independent country, but it's similar to the US, a schooling system, and they speak perfect English, and it's a very like close relationship with the US. And I believe if you're a US citizen, you can live and work in Palau indefinitely. They have good relationships. Peleliu is a really interesting place. There was a huge battle of Peleliu in World War II, and I have a personal connection to that because my grandpa Jack, who passed away a few years ago, fought in the Battle of Peleliu, and he was shot in the knee. And I remember him telling me crazy stories about being in Peleliu. Actually, even before he passed, he told me some stories. So it was really special to go down there and visit, and I put his hat of remembrance on there.
What I remember was that we laid up about 500 yards from the main building by the shore, and we were marched into the area where they had a building.
Yeah, so when you go to Peleliu, you can visit all these like Japanese bunkers, and even like, it's just really cool. Of course, you have the Rock Islands, which is a UNESCO site on its own. It's like thousands of these little dotted little green mountain rocks in this blue water. I took a plane ride over it, and it was like the most insane thing I've ever seen. Thanks to this guy right here, the man himself. So freaking cool. There's also night markets in Palau. It almost feels a little Filipino because A, there are a lot of Filipinos there, but B, the Palauans like kind of act similarly in the sense of like very open and friendly and very festive and family oriented. So it's almost like an extension of the Philippines without the pollution. All in all, Palau is top choice. I probably should rank it higher than number 6, but it's okay. We're just gotta keep it going because there's a lot more exciting things to say about Oceania. I've arrived to a beach called Piha Beach, about an hour west of Auckland. You can see this famous lion rock statue. It looks like a lion, and we got black sanded beach. We got long summer nights here. It's 8 p.m. and I'm gonna tell you about country number 7, which is Tonga. So Tonga, first thing I think about when I think of Tonga is the country's so religious that the capital city actually closes down on Sunday. I went there during Sunday and literally like everything is closed, like supermarkets. I think only hospitals are open. And that just shows how chill Tonga is. I mean, people just hanging out. It's one of the more chill islands in the Pacific. I'm walking down the main street here in the capital of Tonga, and there is just nothing happening. It's so quiet out here, it's eerie.
The airport is closed.
The indigenous people have these really cool tattoos, and they're really proud of their heritage, which is awesome, and you find that elsewhere around the Pacific. I sound like a broken record now, but the beaches are amazing, like here in New Zealand. You know, Tonga's actually not far from here. Nuku'alofa, the capital city, I mean, it's like a couple hours on a flight. Actually, Air New Zealand flies to Tonga, and that's how I got there, from Auckland. But something special about Tonga that the other Pacific island nations don't have as much is whale watching. It is seasonal, but the wow factor of whale watching in Tonga is insane. I've been whale watching all over the world, but Tonga was some of the most incredible. Just to be up and close with these whales. I mean, so cool, right? Also, not far from the capital, you can find this place called Tonga Tapu blowholes, which are like these massive blowholes coming from the sea. You basically just hang out there and admire the incredible nature that you are looking at. Other things worth mentioning in Tonga are taking a boat to some outer islands, going into a church to see like the way that they sing. It's like really famous there, and that's what I did, and I loved it. And yeah, can't go wrong with Tonga. That leads me into country number 8, Tuvalu. The capital of Funafuti is not to be missed because the airport literally turns into a runway, and the whole country is invited to play. I'm standing right now exactly where our plane arrived just a few hours ago. And now all the kids are playing soccer here. They play games, they play sports, they hang out. It's really festive and it's cool. They're playing like cricket and footy, which is a game out here. And they're also playing basketball, like playground, airport playground. It's one of the least visited nations in the world, so it's just this tiny, small community, really nice people. Everyone speaks perfect English.
Hi, I'm Papua. I'm from Tuvalu.
And that's the thing, around the Pacific, almost everywhere people speak really good English, which is nice if you're a traveler. If you do like off the beaten path places, look no further than Tuvalu. I love Tuvalu, it's so cool. Not a lot of food options. I remember I ate at this Chinese restaurant every single day, which was pretty good. There's a nice lagoon for swimming. It's a really beautiful color lagoon. Check it out. Local culture is beautiful. People singing, dancing, hanging out. It's very much a hangout place. Like I rented a motorbike. The island's really long, so I drove to this like long land strip where the waves were crashing on both sides, and that was really, really cool. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Tuvalu. It's a really peaceful place, and if you are someone trying to visit every country or just trying to visit cool places, I do recommend Tuvalu. Check it out. That leads me to country number 9, Micronesia. Micronesia is interesting because it's 4 islands. I only went to Ponape and Chuuk, which are 2 of the 4, which were great. There's a lot of shipwreck diving. There's a lot of indigenous culture. In Ponape, they have this place called Nan Madol, which is like this 1,000-year-old ancient ruins, which is actually really, really cool to see.
This structure is for worship and burial for the king and queen.
How old is it?
2,000 years ago.
You just walk around and like there's no one there. It's so freaking cool. My guide had a whole tattoo of Nan Madol on his shoulders, and it's a place where they used to have ceremonies and used to hang people, and they used to just do crazy things back in the day. It's something really cool like Stonehenge or something, like really old rock formations that have a lot of meaning from tribes who have settled in the land in the past. So my question is like, how the hell did they carry these stones?
That's the big question.
Where did they get them from?
Just look at it. How can you put that big rock up there thousands of years ago on this remote island?
Ponape is also really famous for its kava. I mentioned kava earlier, but they have really ceremonial ways of drinking it in Ponape, which is what I did. It feels like you're drunk, just hanging out with the boys. They're laughing, they're joking. Better than vodka?
Yeah, when we drink Chaga, we don't kill people. You drink vodka, you kill people.
Yeah.
It's just such a nice island to drive around. They have the American system, they speak English, like the schools are nice, the roads are nice. I got amazing drone shots of like perfect coconut beaches. It's a great life. There's waterfalls, there's lagoon life, canoe culture, reefs, just kind of this quiet island rhythm. As you can see, I just really love the Pacific. There's nothing not to like about it. It's so clean, safe, calm. Can be a little bit pricey because they have to import everything. Just want to take a second and admire this incredible sunset happening right now on this lion rock. It looks like a lion. You can see the head there, and there's the body and the legs wrap around. Everything here is volcanic, everything. All these mountains, this sand. This is black sand. I mean, dude. All right, now I'm gonna drive up the coast of the North Island, New Zealand, to bring you to the rest of the countries in Oceania. Here we go. We made it to a town called Waitangi, which is actually where the Declaration of Independence of New Zealand was signed. It's a historic town. It's filled with Maori people and culture, which is awesome, the local indigenous people, all the way in the northeastern tip of the North Island. Anyways, now's a great place to tell you about country number 10, Kiribati. This is a country that looks like Kiribati, but it's actually pronounced Kiribati. It's a beautiful island nation of around 100,000 people with these atolls, which are basically like islands, but they don't go above like 1 meter high. So the highest point in the country is just like 1 or 2 meters.
Hey Drew, did you bring your oxygen mask?
No, why, man?
This is the highest point in Kiribati.
Which is only a few meters. There's the sea right behind us, and the road is right here. Really beautiful marine life, all the way down by the sea, crystal clear water. The main town is called Tarawa, and it's really interesting. You drive on these ocean roads that go like all the way out, and they go like these really narrow roads that go up and down the island with these beautiful trees around you. And the sad thing about Kiribati is that they're really suffering from oceans rising. This was a seawall right there?
Yeah, that was a seawall.
But why is it so small now?
It got washed away by the waves.
Whether you believe in global warming or not, it's hard to argue what the locals are telling you, how, you know, they used to live in the same house for 40, 50 years and all of a sudden the ocean is overtaking it and they're swimming in waist-high water. I witnessed it. I was there during a huge high tide, which was actually wild to experience.
All our lives we've been dependent on the ocean. We got food from it, we got work from it, and now it seems possibly we could die from it.
People in Kiribati are really, really friendly. They speak English. I think English is some of their first language, actually. What's your name?
My name is Moro.
It's a really calm place. It's a cool country to experience local culture because there's almost no tourists there. An awesome place to visit If you like nature, if you want to experience pristine waters, take a boat to one of the atolls. I mean, man, it's like, I basically just always want to be in a country like Kiribati. It's like I want to retire in a country like Kiribati. It's awesome. If you go to Kiribati, make sure you do spend a couple days in Tarawa. It's really densely populated. There's a lot of houses and shops and markets and things to do and see, which is cool because when you go to the outer islands, it's really calm and peaceful. Nothing else too crazy to report on about Kiribati, but just one of those places that like, it's so surreal to be there because you know that almost anyone else that you know has never been there or has even heard of the country before. And that's Kiribati. All right, let's hop in with country number 11, Samoa.
Welcome to Samoa.
Samoa's cool because you have main Samoa and American Samoa. They're separated by the international date line. They are 24 hours apart. Pretty cool. You could take a 30-minute flight and you could be one day ahead or one day behind. Samoa is the home of culture. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is part Samoan. You can see how they're just built different. They have really cool tribal tattoos, tribal marks, and they're just really genuine, cool people, Samoans. I actually have several Samoan friends and I like them a lot. The food in Samoa was surprisingly better than elsewhere in the Pacific. Taro is everywhere. They have really good fresh fish. Of course, fish is everywhere in the Pacific. There was an abundance in Samoa when I was there. I found it to be the best food in all the Pacific, maybe aside from Fiji. Cool cultural dances, cultural centers. I basically just went to Apia, the capital city, and just walked around, and then I took a little road trip to some outer villages. But Samoa, unfortunately, I had flight issues and I was only able to have like 36 hours on the island. So I didn't get to do the things that I set my mind to do, but nice beaches, nice nature, nice people, cool atmosphere. I recall seeing some waterfalls and walking through some jungle. And I don't know, I wish I had more to say about Samoa, but I think what I can say now is I would love to go back. All right, let's hop into country number 12, the Marshall Islands.
Yakwe from the Marshall Islands.
This is an interesting country. The capital, Majuro, is quite a cool place. I hung out with some local people that took me around the city for a few days, had a great time, drank some of the best coconuts I've ever had in my entire life, which is saying something because I always try coconuts everywhere I go in tropical nations. Like other towns and cities in the Pacific, Majuro is on this really thin, tiny strip of land. It's almost like unbelievable how everybody has settled, has become such a crowded place on this really, really tiny strip of land. The Marshall Islands is really famous and worldwide recognized for Bikini Atoll, which has legendary wreck diving from World War II. And if I'm not mistaken, it's also where the atomic bomb was tested, which is obviously really sad. I hate wars. I'm sure everybody here doesn't support wars either, but that's where it was tested. And the inventor of SpongeBob SquarePants is actually inspired by Bikini Atoll, underwater, like in that place in the Marshall Islands. This is all coming from memory, and it's been a while since I've thought about this, but that's one of the famous things about the Marshall Islands. Marshall Islands has world-class scuba diving. I was able to take a dive there. Anywhere in the Pacific has great scuba diving, so it's not like one's better than the other. But if you like shipwrecks, which is cool because you just think about these Japanese boats or American boats during World War II, they sink. Like when you're diving down there, you go through like the bathroom, you know, so like the toilet is still there, and you can even read the labels of some of like the whiskey bottles, and you see like artifacts and things, even guns that are just sitting on the bottom of the ocean for the last 80 years. It's like mind-blowing. But that's something you can experience in Marshall Islands. Go around the country, explore, meet people. Whew, this is sad. We're coming to the end of the story. We have 2 more countries to learn about in the Pacific. Also, random note that I haven't mentioned yet. These are UN or United Nations recognized countries. There's a lot of other islands in the Pacific like French Polynesia, Bora Bora, the Cook Islands, which is technically New Zealand. I haven't been to these places because they're not official countries, so we're just naming the UN nations. I just got to my messy hotel room here in Auckland. You can see the beautiful city in front of me. I actually really love it here, but it's pouring rain outside, so I can't really walk on the streets. Well, if you stuck around this far in the video, then you finally made it to the country that has disappointed me. And it's not the last country in this video, there's one more after this. So I'm gonna finish the story here, and we're jumping in with country number 13, the Solomon Islands. Well, I don't have a whole lot to say about the Solomon Islands, but my one biggest memory was touring around Guadalcanal, which is an island and site in the Solomon Islands, which had a huge battle from World War II. Lots of history. My grandfather, when he was in World War II, was telling me all about it. There's really cool artifacts and things that you can walk around. You can see tanks, there's museums. It's a big site to see. I'm not gonna give you a whole history on the Battle of Guadalcanal, but you can go check it out if you do go to the Solomon Islands. The way to get there is pretty easy. You fly from Brisbane, a couple hours flight. The capital city is called Honiara, and I don't know, guys. I don't want to be disrespectful, and if you're from the Solomon Islands, I apologize, but I just didn't quite get it. I couldn't get the pulse and the vibe of the place. I didn't understand the culture very well. I mean, it's cool, it's Pacific Islanders, like I love that, but I didn't find anything unique about Honiara that I had found in the other Pacific Island nations that I was visiting. Maybe I needed to give it more time. In Solomon Islands, I had a few days, went to Guadalcanal, hung out in Honiara, went to the amazing beach. I will say that the Solomon Islands has many, many, many islands to choose from, and there are little ferries that take you around to the outer islands, which is probably worthwhile, and I will consider that next time I do go out to Solomon Islands, whenever that may be. But this is one that I don't have a whole lot else to say on, so if you have been to Solomon Islands, if you like Solomon Islands, let me know in the comments down below what I should do on my next visit or what I've missed here, and I really appreciate it. That leads me to country number 14, the final country in Oceania. And it's actually not that terrible of a place, but I potentially was saving the best for last for all you guys still hanging around and watching this video. And that country is Nauru. Ah, the least visited nation on the planet. I believe they get less than 200 visitors a year. If you and a friend visit, then you make up 1% of all the tourists that visited in that year. So as you can see behind me, they are very patriotic. They got flags and symbols of Nauru all over the country. It's really hard to get to Nauru. There's only 2 flights a week. At least when I went there a few years ago, there were 2 flights a week from Fiji on Nauru Airlines. I don't know if there's more flights. I don't know what the situation has changed, but always going back and forth between Fiji. Nauru is cool. You arrive and it's like a holiday when a plane arrives because the whole island can see. It's a tiny place. You can walk around the whole perimeter of Nauru in a couple hours. That's how small it is. It's a circular island. So when the plane comes in, it's like a big deal, like arriving from a different international country or island to Nauru.
It's shaped like a kidney bean. So width about 4 Ks, length about 5 Ks.
So Nauru does have the reputation of being the most obese country in the world per capita. And yes, it is true. They eat a lot of canned food because that's what ships bring in. They don't have a lot of restaurants. Once again, there's like one Chinese restaurant in town, like another one of the islands I mentioned, and I ate there every meal. It's like fast food, Chinese food. It wasn't that great, but it was good considering the circumstances of where I was in the world. I met a guy named Jesse Wepa, if I remember that's his name correctly, and he's the former world's strongest man bodybuilder. So he was like bench lifting me. Nice guy. They're big people and they're proud of it, and it's cool to experience the Nauruan life and culture.
Thanks for coming, but I need to start lifting again.
Go ahead. It's a famous island for its phosphate. Actually, in the 1970s, it was one of the richest countries in the world because they were producing a lot of phosphate and exporting it around the world, and then there's been some scandals and whatever else has happened, and that has pretty much dwindled down and diminished to almost nothing. There is a place called Anibar Bay, if I said it right, which has beautiful coastline views and sunset views and just a vibe over there. There's a couple of other secluded beaches with like palm trees, and it's really rocky. I remember sitting, there's an image I have in my head of me sitting in Nauru with a backwards hat on, and I'm sitting on these rocks. Look at this nature of these rocks coming out of the sand. Water is super blue and crystal clear. This is the Pacific Islands, my friends. There's a supermarket selling a lot of Aussie things. Cheesy bites. Because Australia is kind of the big brother neighbor. It's kind of like the US to the Caribbean, kind of similar. There's a lot of controversy about Nauru. You can look it up on Google. I don't know if it's true or not, but they're like labor camps or refugees that are coming to Australia that don't actually make it, and they're sent to Nauru. I don't want to get into it, but that's just, if you Google it online, that's what you'll find. I didn't really dive into that because politics is not really my interest. When I travel, I just try to experience local people, culture, vibes, and Nauru didn't have a lot of that. I think it's personally interesting because of how unpopular it is. Like for me, the weirder and the stranger is the better, which is why I tend to not hang out in countries like France or wherever. Sorry, France, I don't mean to pick on you, but I like to go to places that are unique, and Nauru is certainly unique. If you are going to every country in the world, or if you want like really, really off the beaten, strange travel experiences that you can't find anywhere else and that you know none of your friends have been to, then check out Nauru. But I don't know what else to say about the country. It's cool to say you walked around the perimeter of a country in a day. There's one little hike you can do to like a World War II gun or something, statue in the ground, tank. But that's about it. So thank you guys for watching my ranking of Oceania. I hope you get to visit this beautiful region. Come to Auckland, check it out. There's a lot more hidden wonders here, and I hope you guys get to experience it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more of my ranking videos or just more epic content stories around the world. And I love you guys, you're the best. Peace out from beautiful New Zealand.